I'm Peter Westwood. I'm Data Center Director. I joined the business about 10 months ago. A bit of a new venture for me to enhance and develop our data center side and customer portfolio within the data center market and enhance the teams and delivery and the whole concept from there. When I joined the data center industry, I've been in construction for about 30 years. I joined and started in the data center industry about 14 years ago. There was a big boom for finance and banking customers to build data centers, which I was very fortunate to be working with some of the largest and delivered some of the largest projects across the UK. And then there was a co-location market, enterprise market that was also starting to pick up, and that growth has been massive over the 14 years I've been in the data center. And then you've got all the service providers, all the hyperscalers, and all the challenges that come along with that growth, the expansion in the market and the changes. Obviously the GSM technology and the service provider utilisation. The GSM technology obviously is 3G, 4G, 5G, the Internet of Things. It's caused some issues as well with power demand and hence why there's a lot of data centres in Europe, in the Nordics, where they're utilising new cooling technologies to try and keep that power demand to the most efficient ways. It's really just the technology side of things, Internet of Things, storage of data, processing of data. That's what's caused the massive growth. It's challenging. It's been so big growth, especially with the massive hyperscale data centers and those customers like Google, Facebook, Apple, Amazon, and the whole stretch is globally. So the demand has caused some real issues, especially with skills shortages, gaps, and depending on that demand, and the regions that those projects perhaps are taking place, it's a bit of a juggling act, really. I joined the data centre nearly 14 years ago. I love the industry just really through, the people in it, the fast pace, the technology. When I was a young engineer, data centres, in my early parts of my career, I was, doing schools and hospitals and commercial buildings. And then when I actually got introduced to data centres, I never looked back really, because it's an engineer's dream from all the different solutions from, high voltage, medium voltage, low voltage, UPS, chiller systems, all the different solutions that you have for the technologies within the data centre just fulfills everything as an engineer. So that was something I really enjoyed as a young engineer coming through. I learned so much and I've stayed in that industry just because I love it so much. It's a very fast pace. And even though it's a very big industry, it's quite a small industry. It's quite networked. A lot of people know, each other. And it's very demanding and it can, be quite tough, but it's very challenging and it's a great career, especially for the future and the way technology's going. It's definitely put me in good stead, over the next 14 years and hopefully until I retire. And in the data centre industry, it's a very fast-paced industry, a lot faster than any other industry. The demand that's come in through technology, people want speed to market, and that's what a lot of these core customers are looking for, which means that you have to have very speedy delivery guys and a lot of enthusiasm, a lot of drive, which delivers the projects that are required out there in the marketplace. Obviously I love it, I'm probably a bit biased. The technology, as an engineer, that's all great, and looking into the future of data centres and where that's going. We've been building very big hyperscale sort of data centres all over the place, which is great for data storage and some processing. But when it comes to actually sort of latency and getting the speed to the people, which is you and I, and our kids playing on the Xbox, it's about regional and edge data centres. So we've got these big centralised data centres all over the world, which are fantastic. But the future, I think, goes to regional edge data centres, which are a lot smaller. They're closer to the people, so you can deal with all the latency issues, get the speed, and also some of the technologies. And this is why I'm so keen for young people to come through, because I feel that traditionally the data centre industry has always kept the architectures of data centres the same, and they've been same, for a long, long time. Whereas if we refresh that and we realise the problems that are going to come come with power demand. Those new people will hopefully bring new technologies. They'll bring a little bit more into the industry to help us drive the efficiencies, which is definitely required with, immersed cooling, different server technology, open compute systems, different cooling systems, all that sort of stuff. And that's what I want to see, that come through with those graduates, those scientists, those engineers, because they're the guys that are going to produce the future and the designs for the future. And I'm quite excited about how that's going to work out and how that's going to, come. We don't really know what it's going to go.